Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a pretty short video, just showing you how I harvest and cure my pumpkins. I will go through the general test. You see that it's kind of ripe, kind of dried out. Leaves are dying back. This stem is going through the vines, going all the way down. There might be other pumpkins in there. There's another right there. So I have one here. I'll go through how I test them. So here you can see that it's pretty much died back. And then the original tendril. So there's a leaf node here that was originally growing out. And here you can see that this tendril has died back here. Once this is all dried, you know that the pumpkin is ripe. And you can see the dieback of the leaves. It is nice, firm, and hard. You can hear it. Rock hard. Nice, good stem. And you want to do the nail test. I don't really have much of a nail, but I'll do it. And you can see I do not leave any indentation. So this one looks ripe to go. So I'm going to cut as much of the stem back as I can. Right here, along the stem, as far back as I can. And we have our first sugar pie pumpkin grown in Florida. I'm going to let it cure here a little bit in the sun. So this side was in the ground, no bug damage. So I'm just going to lay it here in the sun, in the netting for a little bit. On the sun, the part that was on the ground, which was this side, that's nice and perfect. Nice, perfect pumpkin. I'm going to let it sit in the insect netting and let it finish drying there. If it rains, I'll come out and harvest it and get it. That is one down. But that is how you cure and dry your pumpkin. So one down. So here is another raised bed I have. I'm growing pumpkins in. There's a pumpkin down there. I don't know if you can see it. And this was riddled. I don't know how cabbage moss, but a whole bunch of moss got trapped inside here. Don't even know how they got it. Normally I have it flushed to the ground, put rocks around it, and usually that does the trick, but somehow they found a way through. That one is still maturing. It was actually all the way on top of the trellis and fell straight down. And that's not the only thing I have growing. I also have a potato that's growing in here. The stalk is died back all the way. All the stalks actually. There's another one here. So I'll be digging this area, so I'll get potatoes and pumpkins. So if you thought this was only going to be a pumpkin video, you are mistaken. I want to see if I actually got potatoes this year. And here are other potato plants and eggplants that aren't doing too well, but they're starting to flower, so I know they're forming their tubers, but their bulbs underneath. So this one I will have to harvest later on. And you can see here I had to cut and remove the leaves that were infected with cabbage moth. This thing fell down from the weight of this pumpkin, but it's still ripening. So yeah, it did delay the growth. It shot up a new part of the vine that has some female flowers, but you can see it's bouncing back. So this is now the second pumpkin I get to harvest. I don't know if it was fully ripe. It feels ripe, although there is that green color. It is ripe, and it literally straight fell off the vine here. So I think it is about ripe. I can't even see the tendril. Yeah, there's a tendril there. I don't know if my camera can pick it up. The tendril right there is dried up. You can see it there. So now this is the second sugar pie pumpkin I harvest. There is some discoloration. That markings here was from the leaves touching it and scraping the skin as it was forming. But other than that, it should be a tasty sugar pie pumpkin. This is now the second pumpkin I am able to harvest, and it completely popped straight off the vine. I literally walked by and plopped on the ground. So I guess it's ripe. I'll let it cure in the sun. And this is number 2. So since this has more discoloration, it was in the shade of the sun, and this was getting full sun, I'll just plop it this direction, facing the sun, and have it cure in place. I'll probably put it under some cover, have it stand up, and I'll probably put in the pumpkin patch so it can fully cure, but that's one sugar pie pumpkin down. This was a pumpkin raised bed. As you can see, a whole bunch of cabbage moth damage. I had to remove, you can see even some of the leaves are munched on, but any worms and stuff like that I spot, I get rid of. And this was another pumpkin growing here, the only one actually. I had several, but it aborted the pumpkins that were growing in here because I had to remove some of the leaves. I haven't watered it yet, that's why the leaves are looking wilty. But other than that, it's been difficult when with the insect netting. I don't know how they managed to get through, but they did. And that might even be some of them. You can see some of the cocoons they're forming. That is what I've been dealing with. So I'm gonna go take care of that. This has been a neglected bed, but that's the pros and cons. But you can see that some of them have been munching away on this pumpkin vine. Again, this one is ripening and it is tiny a few weeks later. So it's at least something, I guess. Let me know in the comments below if you know what type of variety that pumpkin is. So this was a tiny one that got attacked by cabbage moth, so I'm going to harvest it. It looks a little bit defective. Yeah, it's all molded out. This tiny one is all soft inside, starting to mold and rot. Not good. So I'll just probably leave it in the front porch for the squirrels. You can see that I have a butternut squash growing right there. This pumpkin is tiny, but it should be about almost ready to harvest. And I have two more butternut squashes here. This tiny one's ripening. I have absolutely no idea what variety that is. Let me know in the comments if you know what type of variety that is. And literally the next day, look how massive they've grown. It also looks like the butternut squashes began to rebound, and there's actually two more in here. Right there is another two butternut squashes growing in there. So the butternut squashes are rebounding from the cold, and I might just have this continue growing in here and harvesting a pumpkin every week or so, or a squash. And this is my squash bed. So it's still going strong. I thought by now it would have dieback, but it is going strong. No moths in here so far. I think I only caught one, but no eggs, so we're looking good here. And here is the third one that's just about done. As you can see, my sugar pie is almost done ripening. But here you see the butternut squash. Again, it drops its fruit. I don't know why. It is well watered, well fed, and it just seems to drop the butternut squash every single time. Halfway, it doesn't ever. I hand pollinated it, so that's not an issue. I think I've been bamboozled with these seeds. These were store-bought seeds, and you can see they do not produce anything at all. Let me know in the comments if I'm being bamboozled. So now this is the third pumpkin I'll be harvesting. And as you can tell, my squash is doing really well. It's growing pretty big. As you can tell, the squash has gained a lot of size, so I'm quite glad I'm now getting butternut squashes. They're pretty nice and hard, got a good nice texture to them. So I am going to be harvesting my pumpkin over there. So again, the tendrils down. It is still green on one side, but I think I'm just gonna keep as much as the stem as I can. And there we go. So this right here is the third pumpkin I managed to harvest. There is some green shade to it, a green tint to it. You can see the stem. There is still some liquid left. It still looked like it was being fed, but there's other pumpkins on the vine. There's some hints of green on it, but I'll let it cure. But this is now officially my third pumpkin that I'm able to harvest. So this is the fourth real pumpkin I'll be harvesting. The tendril died off. It's getting a yellow stem. Let me know in the comments if you know this variety or what's wrong with it. I hand pollinated it, so pollination wasn't an issue. I did the fingernail. It is rock hard, but it has more of a yellow hue. So I don't know what is the deal with this pumpkin, but I think I need to cut it off the vine. The stem is turning yellow, which was the same symptom as the baby one I just harvested, the tiny pumpkin. Let me know in the comments if you know. But I will be taking this one off the vine and curing it, and then seeing, hopefully I can get a pumpkin. So this is my tiny 5th, or actually 4th pumpkin I harvest. So here it is. Let me pull them out of the mesh. Oh, I have this side here. Let me scrub off some of the dirt. So you can see the stem is yellow. It is fully mature, but it is tiny. Let me know in the comments why this happened, why it's yellow, the stem. Maybe it didn't have enough energy. It could have been defective seed, but I will let this cure in the sun with the other one there. So this is number 4 that I harvest that I can actually probably use, but it is tiny. It's the size of my hand, but maybe I can use it for home decor for my early fall decor, which is spring now in March, but who knows. Let me know in the comments below what's wrong with that pumpkin. If it's a different variety, it has a more of a yellow hue to it, maybe a lack of energy. And if you have any more comments or advice on how to grow pumpkins in the tropics, let me know, and peace out.